Hi, beautiful person. Welcome to this channel. If you're new, my name is Rejoice. If you are returning, what's good, Chi? Thanks for coming back and getting another dose of Rejoice. Always. Rejoice. Always. Okay. So, last week we talked about do you believe in the one? And we also asked the girls if they would like to shoot this shot, if they even thought, if they would even try, right, to shoot the shot at a man they fancy. And then if guys would like that, if you like someone who would just step up to the plate and shot their shot. Anyway, so I hope you all enjoyed that video. If you haven't seen it yet, I will link it up here or wherever it comes up. I think it comes up here. So I'll link it up here and I'll also link it in the description box. So for this week, we're going to be talking about the definition of love. Love means so many things to so many people. So I sat down with my friends and I said, let's talk about love. Why not? So I wanted to know what their definition of love was, and I also wanted to know if that definition changed over time, right? Yeah, because it's good to know that kind of stuff. And then we're also going to talk about like love languages, if you believed in them and what your love languages were. Are. So if you're watching this video right now, I want you to comment down your definition of love. What is love to you? And if you also believe in love languages, I want to know what your top 3 love languages are. So yeah, let's go into the video and I'll see y'all at the end of the video. What do y'all like? What's y'all's definition of love?
You have to say who to go first because I will never go first until you call me.
Well, we're gonna just take turns. We'll be taking turns going first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I realized recently was, well, not too recently, I'm still kind of rolling with it, is when people say I love you, there's this, or when people hear I love you, it seems, and by people I'm being general here, so there's this expectation of, therefore I'm going to be with you forever. I think it's why people get nervous to say it back. It seems like you're signing an agreement. And I found like intuitively I've always seen it as like I'm acknowledging the way I feel about you. That in that moment or might exist forever. But that does not necessarily mean I'll bend over backwards to be with you forever. So in that context, like it's kind of easy for me to love things and people and like not be afraid of saying it. But yeah, that still doesn't define what I think love is. But I think love is being, not being somebody else, but kind of something similar to empathy, but it's not empathy. It's similar. It's like, I don't want to use the word connection. That's an overconfident sentiment. But there is it's like empathy, but it's not empathy. Because empathy sounds like this, oh, you have to be, it's kind of like when people say I'm giving back, that presumes you're in a higher position. So empathy kind of has an implied, unstated, you are doing a favor to the person, but it's not. So yeah, something like that. I should think more about that. But anyways.
Okay.
I guess it's my turn. I
Yes.
feel like love has a lot of definitions and it's subjective to each person. So for me, I think that love is a bunch of different things, apart from the fact that my faith strongly influences how I think about love and how the Bible talks about love. I feel like love is just me willing to go the full way with people. And that has become more apparent just being, just growing over the years and realizing that there are people that I will not go the full way for or will not even blink an eye for. And there are people that I will definitely go the full way with and for. So yes, love, that I think that's a big definition of love for me. But like I said, love is a bunch of different things and it could manifest in different ways.
So, do you think like over the years, as we grow and stuff, the definition of love is like different for you? Like, if that makes any sense, how you
Yeah,
define love, like when you're younger, would that be like the same, or would it be different, like right now?
definitely. I mean, when I was younger than now, I'm still young, but when I was younger than now, when you talk about love, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's a feeling. You feel this thing for someone and you're so in love but so I've come to realize that sometimes love is not even enough to, if you're talking about being with someone in that sense, sometimes you have to overcome barriers that are greater than that feeling you have in your heart. And that's when I'm saying you have to be willing to go the full way to be able to overcome those barriers. So yes, definitely. And if you asked me tomorrow, my definition might change just because I'm growing and I'm learning and I'm different every day. But for this moment, on this day, at this time, this is my
This
definition of
second.
at this second, because it
Yeah.
might change in the next second. But
Mm,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. What about you, Abu? Does it change for you, or is it pretty much the same?
I think that's an interesting question. Because yeah, it changes, but it's the same. So what I mean by that is, some things that Toluani said about, the feeling not being enough and communication not being enough and mutual intimacy not being enough and willing to do the work from both people not being enough. Like these are things that I've kind of learned from personal experience and just also being intimately aware of some other people's experience. With respect to being together in that way, again, that I think the common presumption of I love you means. Those things might not be enough. But yeah, I think with respect to that thing I was trying to define without finding a word for that empathy-ish feeling, I think it's always been the same. And what has kind of increased is seeing the work it can be, but the work still comes from that empathy-ish feeling. So like when I was younger, it seemed like it was just more about the feeling, and the feeling is enough. That empathy-ish feeling. So like the feeling is the same basically, but how you manifest it, how you practice it, you kind of get wiser with as you grow.
Okay. What is love to you all? Like, what's the definition of love for you all?
Love is selfless to me.
I mean, love. Okay, love really probably can mean different things to me, but I guess one of the things like love means to me is like I mean, just going by the definition, it's like you showing like showing what's it called, some sort of affection to something. Whether whatever it is, just kind of showing a relentless affection to something.
Ooh, relentless. Okay. Do you think like if you were younger, would that be the same like definition of love to you, or do you think like as you grow older, like the definition of love to you changes, like depending on like what season of life you're in, or
Honestly, I think love has been like more like a metamorphosis for me. So it has kind of like changed over time. Just the definition. I think a younger part of me would have kind of defined love the way everyone would define it. Just I don't know. I don't know what that is, but now I think it's starting to change just from life experiences, seeing people, working with people. So it has kind of changed over time for me. So to answer your question, yes, it would have been different
what
a
about you?
while back. But
Yeah, I think it would be. It is different for me because I think like growing up, the whole movies and the whole fairy tale, princess, prince, all those things define a lot of love. And my parents too, the kind of love my parents showed me. But as I grew older, I started noticing that love is it has to do with a lot of intentionality because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you love the person, you love people, even if they're really annoying you or you're not happy with them, but you still choose to love them. So it's very, that's why I said it's selfless. And even when it doesn't make sense, you still able to still love somebody, even when they're annoying or even when they're not returning the love back or in the way you want to be loved. So yeah, definitely change.
Do y'all know the love languages, like that thing called love languages? Okay, if you do you believe in them? Like,
absolutely,
okay,
absolutely.
Yeah.
what are your
What else?
love languages?
In like just like the first one or like the main one? Because I mean, I think I'm a combination of. I mean, I have a bit of both. But
Mm, yeah, do like your top, I guess, top three, if there's a top three.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so starting from the bottom, I think physical touch is number three. Um,
Hmm.
I believe number two is I think number two is I believe word of affirmation, and number one is act of service.
Hmm.
Mm.
Okay,
Oh
so
no.
my
Oh,
top
okay.
one is quality time, and then words permission, the second one, and the third one is active service. It's the third one is a tie between gifts and active service.
Mm,
Ooh.
yeah. It's been a long time since I've taken mine, but I feel like words of affirmation was like the first one. So
You should probably take it after this.
I
Rejoice.
should.
before you post it.
Beautiful. I like how I love your YouTube channel. You're working so hard.
Thank
I
you.
know, right?
There you go. Do you believe in love languages? Do y'all do? If so,
Yeah.
what are like your top three? Top three love languages.
People always ask this question too. But I do love time. I love
Okay.
spending time with people.
Quality time.
I don't know where this falls on that, but I love people being thoughtful. But I really don't know where that one falls on that. But actions, I guess that would be like something like that matters. But I really don't know where that falls on that either. But those are the three things that really matter to me, like just like in your actions.
Like acts of service.
Yeah, acts of service. Yeah. And then time and
time.
people being thoughtful.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, it's interesting you say, do I believe in them? Because yeah, I think, like we can have different scales on how we prefer some. So your top three, I think, takes that into account. But I saw one quote, or my brother told me of one quote recently, that the love languages that we value are things we didn't get as kids. I don't know if that's true. And I'm like, I'm still kind of flipping through it in my head, because that sounds like something that will kind of, I don't know, shift the carpet under your feet, not necessarily pull it out, but but personally, yeah, I like physical touch. It's not the highest, but I also think everybody needs physical. I mean, not just me. There's this research in this school in Florida that was like, we need physical touch every day, like everybody. I mean, there are people that go. I saw a tweet recently about a lady that was like, I hate hugs, but there's nothing you can tell me hugs are therapeutic. Like, so I think everybody on some level, on some primal level, feels that. But yeah, that's something I like. And I've been in a long distance relationship before, so that feels particularly extra.
Yeah.
But yeah,
about that. Oh well, never mind.
Oh, sorry.
Go on. No, you're going.
Yeah, I can be a bit of a crusader about that. But anyways, yeah, thoughtfulness that Toluani repeated often is something that I also I'm kind of mindful of. He also touches on that empathy like thing I said about love. I think it's so fundamental to what it means to love someone. So yeah, but acts of service, gifts, motivating words are things that I found I do kind of like just they are not. I think once that feeling is there for me, all of them I'm comfortable kind of moving through all of them, and I'm kind of comfortable receiving all of them. But I guess the one, yeah, at least I don't know. There's this feeling like maybe I'm vain a little bit with like physical touch, but I don't think it's vain. I just think I'm particular about like that physical touch, but it's not as particular as I'm making it sound. Yeah.
So we've come to the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Once again, if you're watching this video, you've watched it all to the end, you might as well just comment down what your definition of love is. Does love change for you as you grow? And love languages, what are your love languages? So put them down in the comment section below and let's talk, let's chat it up. Anyway, you guys, I hope to see y'all in my next video. And once again, you are loved, you are worthy of love, and you're most definitely here for a reason. And I do believe that. See you in my next video. Bye.